is Israel. What's up, guys? Wise out here, coming at you again with yet another episode of Wise Talks. All right, it's almost Christmas time. Let's talk about some stuff. Oh, by the way, if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been around for a little bit, go ahead and invite some friends. Okay, post the link to this video if you feel like you get some value from it. If you want to share with them, the message that I bring to you guys. All right. So here's the deal. We are literally almost approaching Christmas. It is less than 2 weeks away from Christmas, and I think it's really important to talk about this. Now, there's like a whole ton of other things we all want to hear around the beginning of a new year, but I think the main thing really to talk about, depending on your situation, especially everybody who's watching this is more than likely an entrepreneur or somebody who's self-employed, so really what I want to talk about is time off. Okay, it's really important. Like, should you take time off? How much time should you take off to really actually feel like you took a vacation? So especially around Christmas, I think is really important. So I'll just tell you exactly how I like to do it. Like, so what I do is at the beginning, well, really when I first got started in business, I kind of made this clear that this is what I was going to do, at least for real estate. Because obviously it's kind of difficult to talk to somebody about selling their house the day before Christmas, right? That's kind of, it's kind of like, it doesn't really happen. I mean, it can happen, but it's very often that it doesn't happen unless they're in a distressed situation that it's like, we have to sell it, we don't have a choice. But most people obviously, use their home to enjoy during the holidays. So, kind of the plan that I set out for myself was that, okay, so all the major holidays, I said, okay, I'm going to take off those major holidays for sure. So that would be, so let's start from the beginning of the year. So like New Year's, okay, Easter, okay, I think Memorial Day is right. Is it Memorial Day right now? Memorial Day, whatever is right there in May, whatever holiday that is. So Memorial Day, and then 4th of July, and then my birthday is actually in the middle of July. So my birthday, and then we got Labor Day. Labor Day, yeah, obviously because it's Labor Day, but so for me, I'm not necessarily dealing with clients. So on certain holidays like that, Memorial and Labor Day, it's not that I don't necessarily work. It's just I'm not active with clients. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of do office like admin kind of stuff to just kind of get ahead and catch up. So I'll do that on those specific holidays. And then you have, right around the corner after that, you have Halloween. That's another one. Honestly, I'm not really a big person about Halloween, but I did put that, in my list to take off Halloween. And then I feel like I'm missing one. I guess Thanksgiving and then Christmas, right? So I feel like I'm missing one in there. But so if you total it all up, there's probably less than 14, holidays. Yeah, it's way less than 14, probably less than 10 holidays that, at least I personally actually take off where it's like I'm not active with clients. That's what I mean when I say take off. I mean, like, I'm not actively working with clients, because as an entrepreneur, you actually have to work more than, 40 hours a week. You actually, it's kind of funny how like people, they'll talk about how, they have all this free time. Well, I don't think that those people who have all this free time are very successful. If they're in the early stages, maybe they, were, workaholics in the beginning, and they, started to implement leverage, and then now they can take that extra time off. But for the most part, like if you're just starting out or you're relatively new, you're having to work your freaking butt off. It's a grind. You have to work more than 40 hours per week just to kind of like maintain. So it's like, you have to like kind of like double, if you will, your efforts to really excel. So, for me, that's just like kind of personal what I do. So I just say all the major holidays, I'm for sure going to take off that day. Oh, here's another thing. So for like the super major holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, what I do is I take the day before and then the day after. So like Thanksgiving is usually like the day before Thanksgiving I'll take off, Thanksgiving Day, and the day after Thanksgiving. So that's 3 days. So 3 days. So that's why I said it's probably less than 14 or 15, days that you would take off. Okay, now that's just personally what I do. Now, is that necessarily what you should do? It depends. If you are somebody, it just depends on your goals. If you are somebody who wants to put in all the work now, so you could spend. Basically, there's a saying. I don't know who said it, but there's a saying that goes, "Do what other people won't do temporarily, so you can live the rest of your life how most people can." right? So basically, it's like most people don't want to really work that much. So it's like if you could do it and get it out of the way, chances are in the long run you won't have to work that much, right? While everybody else is still having to work. So that's kind of my philosophy. It literally just depends on your goals and what exactly you're trying to do. Because if you don't want to work when you're like 40, 50 years old, then you might want to think about working, a plan similar I've just described. You want to do something similar to that, to where you're like basically just grinding, pushing, working every single day. Now, here's another thing. I just I try my best to not work on Sundays as well too, just because your body does need to rest. Mentally you do, but being in real estate sometimes it's difficult, because if you have a property, let's say you have 2 or 3 listings, sometimes you do have to, plan it where Saturdays and Sundays you have to hold those open, right? So that's kind of what's been happening for the past 6 months. It's been like that, just back to back, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, like just holding open houses. But could I leverage it? Yeah, but Robert Kiyosaki, his book, what is it? The Financial Quadrants. It's Financial Quadrants. Oh my God, can't think of the name of the book. But that book that he talks about the different quadrants, and like how people. So I technically would be in the S quadrant. How people in S quadrant operate are very similar like that. They want hands on. They're like, nobody can do it better than me, kind of thing, kind of mentality, and that's like where that comes from. So especially on like, it just kind of depends on what the situation is, but most of the time I like to conduct my own open houses and handle everything on my own, just because I know that the margin for error is going to dramatically be reduced if I jump in and take care of everything. So that's just me. But do you have to do that? It just depends, like I said, on your goals and what you ultimately want to do. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, it just literally depends on what your ultimate goal is, and that's going to determine how you should start to carve your plan for taking time off. Now, GC, he has that famous line he talks about. He says, like, you should, if you're going to take time off, and he does kind of, I kind of modeled, my whole thing from him. That's like what he does. But it's like how he does it. He's like, okay, I'm going to take time off. He'll take like a week off, or sometimes he'll even take like a month off. He's like, okay, if you're going to take time off, take enough time off to where you could feel rested, and and you won't have the need to want to take time off. He's like, because doing a bunch of little small vacations here and there, it doesn't really amount to much. So it kind of makes sense. That's kind of my whole goal, is like to take, and how I put my spin on it is to take the small time, just so I can physically have rest and mentally have rest. And then ultimately what the goal is to take off, maybe like 30 days and go to Europe or somewhere like that, and just travel the world, take like a month off and just go, or maybe even 2 or 3 months and just go traveling, but I really want to get to a point where things are a little bit more automated than they are now, because like I said, I am in the S quadrant, so I am doing a lot of this stuff myself. Now I really want to try to transition into being, in the B and I side. Like, do I have things that I do that are in the B and I? Yes, but I'm talking about my main thing, which is real estate. I want it to be more like in the B and I quadrant. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Just wanted to talk about that because we do have the holidays coming up. Just wanted to, give you some plan of action so you can, maybe you may not be able to implement it this year, but at least, going for the new year, you can kind of, start to cater a plan to taking time off, because it is necessary and it is something that needs to be addressed. Okay, so like I said, that's going to be it for this one. You guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Wise out. Much peace, much love.